Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another new pick a card reading for you guys, all about what will happen between you and whatever person that you're thinking about, what will happen between you and them. So think about a person and then look at these cards and find out which one you're the most drawn to down here. If you guys are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you guys a quick little rundown of how it works. So basically this is pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just look at these cards here. You can pause the video if you'd like to find out which one you're the most drawn to, or you can pick based on the crystals that are down here, but I definitely suggest picking based on what you're the most called to rather than what you find is the most aesthetically pleasing or beautiful. If you guys want to know what these crystals are, this right here is aventurine, then we have chrysoprase, this is some silver aura quartz, this right here is goldstone, and this is peacock ore. So find out which one you're the most drawn to, and once you figured out what card that is, you can scroll down to the timestamps linked down below in the description box or the comment box to find out what time your pile starts at so you can skip ahead and watch your specific reading. But without further ado, let's hop right into this to find out what will happen between you and this person that you are thinking about. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so group number 1, this is the reading for you guys. If you guys pick this pile, this is the reading for you, all about what will happen between you and this person. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so pile number 1, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. So we start off this pile with the 9 of Pentacles, which is ruled by Venus and by Virgo. So this is kind of talking about the perfection, and there's a lot of attractions because Venus does rule like relationships, beauty. So you might be really fascinated with this person might be very fascinated with you, but I'm getting more that you're very attracted to maybe the looks of this person, or kind of like how this person comes across, like how they present themselves, how they carry themselves. They might dress themselves really nicely, or like wear really nice stuff and make themselves look very aesthetically pleasing. With the moon though, there's some kind of like stuff that they're covering up. There's some stuff that they're hiding. This is ruled by Pisces and the moon. And this is kind of like talking about the stuff that's like hidden, the stuff that people don't really want to bring forward necessarily. So there might be more about this person that you have yet to figure out and that you're going to figure out down the road that might be a little bit different than how you currently see them. Like right now you might look at them and think that this person is perfect. They have absolutely everything, but there is some stuff there that you guys don't probably know about yet. So maybe you've known this person for a while, or maybe it's more fresh. I'm guessing that you've known this person, it's a little bit more fresh than something that's really old. And if you have known this person for a long time, you haven't known them at the full depth yet that they are. So there's still like lots more to find out here in this person that will kind of maybe take away from the perfection that you currently see them with. With this death card though, with Scorpio, this is ruled by Scorpio a lot with this death card, and this rules like huge transformation. It's also ruling another like hidden part. So there's lots more still to find out between you and this person for sure. So with this transformation in Scorpio kind of energy that's coming up, there's going to be a change in perspective with this person. So you and this person, as you get to know this person, you might find out about more that you didn't really know about, this more hidden side, a bit more of a darker side, like things that they don't really like want to share. And you might find out some more information that might actually like possibly change your opinion about this person over time with this death card, because this is a huge transformation. Though it doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily lose all interest in this person. It just means that you're going to see them in a different light, and they might lose a little bit of the perfection that they have, kind of the illusion of perfectness that they have going on right now. And it also could be that you might be hiding a little bit of yourself from this person. You might not want to tell them absolutely everything because you might be scared of like scaring them off or scaring them away. And so maybe you haven't been like fully authentic or let them know the full side of you quite yet, because it could also be talking about yourself not wanting to fully come out, and then once you do, it might change the energy of the relationship a little bit. So it can go in 2 different ways. It could actually change the energy of the relationship, that this person actually gets more interested in you once they find out more about you, or it could be that they get a little bit like, you weren't exactly as perfect as I thought you were type of energy. So it could go 2 different ways just depending on you personally. Again, it is a general reading, so it is going to be a little bit less specific, and there's multiple outcomes that this could go in. But yeah, that's kind of the energy that I'm seeing for you guys. And the next cards that we have is play and ancestors. So you guys might currently have a pretty playful relationship right now. It could be very surface level. Again, it's kind of like what I was saying, that you guys don't know each other on a very deep level quite yet. There's more to still discover. Right now it's still at a playful stage where you guys just have a lot of fun together, and you guys see each other in this kind of perfect light. And it's really harmonious because you do see each other kind of in this more perfect light, and you guys don't really see each other's dark sides yet, so it can still stay like really playful. And it doesn't mean that the playfulness will die. It just means that you know, there hasn't been like that huge like deepness quite yet in this relationship between you two. We also do have this ancestors card, and this is kind of talking about like you guys have probably had like past lives together, so there's probably a strong attraction, a strong connection. You two feel like you know each other right off the bat, but there's some past life karma when we have this card that comes up here. There's definitely some past life stuff going on, and looking at this pile, it's probably that like you two feel so comfortable around each other, and you two see each other like so perfectly, and it's just like feels great, but there's just this depth that is still about to come in your guys' future together. So you guys will find out more about each other as time goes on, but right now it's just confirming that right now is a little bit more of a playful time, not so heavy quite yet, but there is a more heaviness to this relationship as this relationship progresses in your guys' future. We also have the card here of Divinity and Stormy. So this is kind of like a divine relationship. I feel like there's a lot of karma to happen here, especially when we do have that ancestors card and then the divinity card. This is like you guys are almost like supposed to meet each other this lifetime in order to learn some lessons, in order to learn how to become authentic and become learn how to be more deep with certain relationships and certain people, and learn how to navigate some like stormy waters, because usually when we kind of reveal like the deeper, more darker sides of ourselves, kind of the flaws that we have, and we start to expose those flaws and talk about, you know, our pasts and stuff like that, it can get a little bit rocky, it can get a little bit wavy, and sometimes the depth of that can sometimes scare somebody away, sometimes not, or it can just transform the current dynamic of the relationship and make it a little bit less playful and a little bit more serious too, because the seriousness comes in once you start, you know, really getting to know somebody on a very much deeper level. And so it could cause some like little bit of conflict. For some reason, I'm really like, this boat is almost looking like the Jupiter symbol to me, and so I feel like there's a lot more expansion that needs to happen here, because Jupiter does rule expansion. It also does rule travel, which is a boat and it's totally traveling. So it's like, I feel like you guys are headed in some sort of direction, like there's some sort of trajectory to this relationship, and it's definitely headed towards, you know, figuring out more and more depth of this relationship. But it could get a little bit rocky once you start learning about the more deeper sides of this person, because they won't be that sort of perfect person to you anymore, and you know, you will have a less perfect side, because really nobody on this planet is perfect. So it's kind of like an illusion to even try to like be perfect with somebody, since nobody is. But yeah, it's not even a bad thing. It's just talking about, you know, when you start to, you know this person on a more deeper level, it could rock the boat a little bit. It could like shake up, you know, the way that you two think about each other in a good way or a negative way. It kind of really depends on your own situation. So we also have the card here of self-reflection and then sovereignty. So with the self-reflection card, this is kind of, this is talking about, you know, you almost see yourself in this person. I think both of you probably have a side of yourselves that you haven't quite shared on a deeper level quite yet, but it's about to happen. So it is happening in your guys' future in this relationship. But I feel like you're going to really start to see the depth of yourself and almost see your own flaws with this person. And because of the fact that you see this person so perfectly, you might feel less perfect yourself. And you might be really having a lot of self-reflection on like, oh, I should change this about myself. I should do this about myself in order to be on that level. But what you really need to realize is this person also has like flaws themselves too. They're also not so perfect, and I think you're going to learn that down the road, and it'll help you reflect a lot and actually gain some more confidence in yourself by realizing that nobody is perfect. So it'll actually be a beautiful thing in the end of it, which is great. And then sovereignty, you're going to realize kind of this more balance. You're going to realize that everyone's been through these situations, and none of us have this perfect side, but it'll be a beautiful thing once you realize that. So it's like not even a bad thing, but it'll be beautiful. We also have the card, this could be the one, and then we have the card worth waiting for. So this could be the one. That can be taken in a literal way, but it also could be like that you guys progress into a more relationship dynamic. So it could be that this person, once you get to know them more, there might be a little bit of rocky waters, but it might actually connect you two on a much deeper level as you get to know each other more and more. This worth waiting for card makes me really believe that, you know, once you guys start finding out the more deeper like parts of each other, it might cause some tension. It might scare each other away for a little bit, but I feel like you guys will connect deeper because of it eventually. But it might definitely cause some of that tension and some of those like second thoughts type of situation. We also have the card here of round and round and then clean it up. So with these two cards, I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a cycle where you two might have this cycle of like, when you learn more about each other, it might be like, oh, well, I didn't know that. And it might cause some like separation for a little bit. And then I feel like you guys might come back together, and it might be a little bit of a pattern and push and pull with this person. It might be some back and forth energy of like, oh, we're not talking now. And then, oh, we're talking again. And I learn more about this. And then, you know, just kind of like a cyclical pattern happening. We also have clean it up. So you might be doing so much self-reflection with this person that you might realize your own flaws and really want to change for this person, because they're a person that's like worth it. They're a person that's worth changing for. They're a person that's worth seeing your own flaws and realizing that you want to change certain aspects of yourself in order to keep this person and kind of clean up your act, because this person helps you see like the depth of yourself, the flaws in yourself, and you will help this person do the exact same thing as well. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. I hope you guys like this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. All right, group number 2. If you guys picked this pile, this is the reading for you, all about what's gonna happen between you and them. So without further ado, let's hop right into this. All right, so pile number 2, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles here, and the Fool. So when we start off with the Queen of Swords, this can be a little bit of like a conflicting relationship. Somebody is like a little bit more like kind of just says what's on their mind. The Queen of Swords is like a woman who's probably like been through a lot, and might have a pessimistic outlook on life. And the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's like they just strive for what's good. You know, they are a hardworking person. They are put together. They have a trajectory. They're not super quick moving, but they like take things very seriously. Whereas the Queen of Swords, she's usually really quick moving. She makes really quick decisions, and she doesn't really necessarily like. Well, she does think before acting, but she's a little bit more spontaneous, but in a kind of a little bit of a pessimistic way. When we have the Fool next, this is like kind of like the relationship. This is like doing things really quickly, spontaneously, kind of without thinking about the consequences that could arise in this situation. And it could be like saying things off the bat or just doing things off the bat, but it's like kind of like, nah, it's not really the best situation. Like the Queen of Swords, I think, you know, she's been through so much, she's been scorned so much that, you know, when she gets into something, she's like expecting the worst all the time. Whereas the Queen of Pentacles is like, well, if I'm gonna make it work, this is how I'm gonna make it work, and this is how I'm gonna do it, this is how I'm gonna get it done. So I think it's like kind of like conflicting belief systems between you and this person. You might have two different ways of like outlooks on life, two different ways of like going about things. It doesn't mean that it necessarily will not work, but it's kind of like you have to go into this in a little bit more of a slow manner and do things that probably help change the perspective of this Queen of Swords person who's been through a lot and is probably a little bit damaged in a way and might have this pessimistic outlook, or just kind of expects not good outcomes of things. So adding optimism into this will be like a really good thing for you both. But what's going to happen between you two is, I think, like things are a little bit too quick moving, a bit too quick paced when we have the Fool here. So this is also like somebody doesn't take the relationship super seriously, and is a little bit more free, or doesn't want like super hard commitment. The Fool is also like somebody who doesn't really want like a permanent commitment with somebody. So I would definitely be cautious about this relationship, especially if you are looking for commitment. This could be somebody that, you know, is a bit more free-spirited and doesn't like to be tied down, doesn't want to be held down type of deal. We also have the card here of Ask Body and Reclaim. So I would when we have this Ask Body card, this is kind of giving the advice of like, really feel your intuition, feel your gut instincts. What is your gut telling you? Because I feel like you probably already know this on a deeper level, and you probably already know where this kind of relationship would go or what would happen in this relationship. You kind of already see the trajectory of it. When we have this Reclaim card, this is like, what do you want out of this? Is this kind of the relationship that you really want? If so, go for it. But if it's not what you want, I think you need to reclaim like your own self. You need to reclaim your own belief systems, because if you're going to be with somebody who doesn't want commitment, but you're looking for commitment, you might have to reclaim your beliefs, and don't let this person change who you are, and really ask yourself in your gut, like, does this feel right? Does this feel like something that I actually want? And if not, I would suggest not really going down the road of this relationship, because it kind of looks like there's confliction in the way that you two kind of operate. We also have the card here of Psychic, and then the card of Nature Spirits. So with this Psychic card, this is like, oh, it's so funny. We also have the same numbers here, because this right here adds up to 12, and so does this. So it's a 3. So this is talking about, this is more of a fun relationship. Like somebody's definitely taking this a little bit more like friendship-wise rather than relationship. So if you guys are looking for a relationship with this person, I think this person sees you more as a friend or more of a casual relationship. With this Psychic card, especially coming up right beside Ask Body, because these kind of correlate to the same sort of topic of, you know, use your intuition. I think your intuition is very correct. And then with this Nature Spirits, it's like, really listen to the signs that are coming up, because I feel like there's definitely some signs that have already been coming up in this kind of relationship where you guys already feel like the universe is almost warning you of something, or trying to tell you like where this is going, and you probably already have a gut instinct of it, but you might be trying to deny it because maybe you're really attracted to this person for some reason. But yeah, there's definitely some signs saying like, don't go down that road. It's probably not what you're exactly looking for, but there's probably some lessons in there that you need to learn anyway, and you need to learn how to be a little bit more less naive when it comes to relationships, and you know, when you get these gut instincts, kind of listen to them rather than just saying like, oh well, maybe I'm wrong. You're usually right, especially when these cards are kind of coming up anyway. We also have the card of Release, and then the card of Focus. So Release is kind of like saying, you know, release your doubts, release, you know, being hard on yourself. And it's probably also talking a little bit about release this person, because I'm guessing that this person isn't on the same trajectory as you are. Sorry, I'm having trouble talking today. But yeah, this is definitely saying like, this is a relationship that's probably not going to last a long time. If you do decide to continue on this relationship, it's probably something that will eventually get released and not exactly go for a very long time. We also have the card of Focus. So definitely focus on kind of like, what do you really want? This is like really using your mind and really going deep within your mind. What do you want out of a relationship? And does this person really fit that you know, list of things that you want? Do they really fit it? If they don't fit like over like whatever percentage that you need, then it's probably not the best person. It's also saying, you know, definitely focus on like the feelings that you're getting too, and the signs that you might be picking up on from the universe as well. And of course, the next card that we have here is pay attention to the red flags, and then let your friends help you. So paying attention to the red flags, again, I'm feeling like a lot that the universe has probably been showing you signs, and you're probably feeling a lot of like maybe people telling you not to, especially because of course we have let your friends help you. So definitely listen to the advice of your friends. They're probably already telling you like, I'm not really thinking that you two are the greatest match, and pay attention to the red flags. If there's something that's coming up that you're like, well, I really don't agree with this, and then they did this, and it's not really lining up correctly, definitely pay attention to those things. The signs are cautioning you, it says. And then this card is ask and accept for support from others. So definitely ask your friends' opinions, ask your family's opinions of this person, and, you know, have those deeper talks with this person as well, especially if you two are still on a friend level or even a relationship level. Ask them the more serious questions that you require in a relationship. Ask them if they have the same desires as you and the same outcomes of the relationship as you. We also have the card here of Treasure Island, and then Chaos and Conflict. So this relationship might be headed in the direction of kind of having a little bit of chaos and conflict, just because I think that there's two different belief systems happening here and two different desires of relationships. Like, I feel like you two are not on the same page. And if you did continue this relationship, it would kind of manifest into a little bit more chaos and conflict, just because of there's a difference of opinion, and you might want something more and then they want something less. And, you know, it's going to cause a little bit of that like disharmony here. And then we also have this Treasure Island card, and it's like, look at what you really have to offer. Look at kind of like in the chest of gold, if you could open up this chest and you could have any relationship that you want, what would it look like? And does this person really match that picture of what you're seeing and what you're wanting and what you're desiring? So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Hope you guys liked this reading. If you did, don't forget to give me a really big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and hit that little notification bell if you guys want to be notified every time I upload a video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so group number 3, this is the reading for you guys. If you guys pick this pile, all about what will happen between you and them. So without further ado, let's hop right into this. All right, you guys, so this is a pretty clear message. We have the Six of Swords, the Tower, and the Five of Cups. So this is a very intense message. And yeah, so with the Six of Swords is always talking about, you know, leaving something behind. And it's a little bit of a heartbreak, but it's a good thing to leave behind. And it is ruled by Mercury and Aquarius right here. And so this is kind of like, there's probably some communication issues right now, or there's probably still some communication that needs to go on. Again, the swords do rule the air signs and communication, and Aquarius is also an air sign. So there's probably like a little bit of more stuff to deal with here, because Aquarius it is ruled by Saturn and by Uranus. So there's a bit more unexpected stuff to still happen in the future with this person that you're thinking about. And it could involve like some courts even, because it does rule Aquarius. So it could either be like a divorce that might be happening, or is in the future. And I don't want to scare you guys by any means. Again, it is a general reading, so I'm just going to point out all the different things that I'm seeing here. So it could possibly be that, or it could just be that, you know, there's still some stuff to deal with, whether you guys live together and now you need to move apart and deal with each other's stuff still. Deal with communication or figuring some future things out, dealing with stuff like that. So when we have this card, it definitely does pop up with, you know, there might still be some stuff happening, and there still might be some communication to be figured out in the future, stuff like that. But you are being guided to a better place. The Six of Swords is always being guided to a better place. So this is there's some hurt emotions, and there's probably some hardships that are currently happening or about to happen, but it's for the better. So that's the positive of this card. It is for the better. Then we have the Tower right here, which is ruled by Mars, and it is a kind of destructive card. So it's kind of like this relationship with this person wasn't built on the right foundation to begin with, therefore it didn't last. Like, this wasn't technically meant to last anyway. It was more of a learning lesson to learn what you truly need and desire and want in a relationship. So this is kind of like, you know, maybe there's a lot of passion here, definitely, especially when it's ruled by Mars. Like, there's a lot of passion between you two. There's probably a lot of love here. But then there's also, with that amount of passion, when things don't work out, it can be pretty sad, and it can be pretty hard. So that's the downside of it. But again, it's also a beautiful thing, because having that love is a gorgeous thing, and it doesn't mean you have to leave it and cut off all your love and now hate each other. That's not what this is talking about at all. This is more of the lesson of, you know, you can leave this and realize where the mistakes happened and realize why this relationship didn't work out. So that's the lesson in this. And once you figure those things out, you can leave it with love. You can leave it with knowing that you two are both going to a better place, and that there's something better out there for you two. And it's not hating on anyone in this. It's kind of more of like realizing that, you know, two people are both responsible for having and building this secure foundation to build this tower, which is kind of like talking about what you two are building together. And the fact that it is falling apart, it usually deals with the foundation. Again, the tower always talks about kind of like what you have built this on. It wasn't solid to begin with, therefore the trajectory of it was never meant to last a lifetime. Doesn't mean it can't work out in the future, but at the moment it's a time of separation. It's a time of growing apart and not really having things that aren't really working out. There's probably a lot of still like passion that's happening here, and passion can happen in a negative way or a positive way, but there's definitely still a lot of passion in this when it's ruled by Mars, but it can be very destructive at the moment, or like while you're going through it. Then we do end with the Five of Cups, which is also ruled by Mars, but then also by Scorpio. And so this is really talking about, you know, feeling it very deeply. This is something that might stick with you pretty deep. It might cause you to feel really sad for a little while, and there's probably some sad feelings here, but again, it's for the better. When we have the Six of Swords, this is talking about you are moving to a better place. It's going to be okay, and you're actually going to move to something better. So it is a reminder that you are going to move somewhere better, but it is something that might be a little bit hard. So with this person that you're thinking about, this is definitely something that is a little bit difficult, and it wasn't the best relationship to begin with, but it's fine. You two had probably a deep connection, and that's a beautiful thing. So you can always take that with you as a beautiful thing, but this is more teaching you kind of like, what do you really want in your future? And it's also reminding you, when we end with the Five of Cups here, this is also reminding you, like, don't let this get to you. Don't let it ruin you. Because there comes a time when you might be looking at all the negative things in this relationship when there actually was positivity in it as well. Because in the Rider-Waite, in the original tarot deck, he's looking at the cups that are tipped over rather than the beautiful ones that are behind him. So it's reminding you to leave this with realizing the good and the bad in this, with realizing the beauty and the destruction that happened in this, and letting the destruction be a lesson, but then also valuing what it was as well. And then realizing that there's better times to come. There's something better on the future road for you as well. So it is the reminder of those things. We also do have the card here of manifest. And then, oh my gosh, tarot sometimes really scares me because I don't look at any of these cards before doing the readings, and this card fits along, the next card that I have fits along so perfectly with this, and it's Sacred Destruction. I got goosebumps when I looked at that. So Sacred Destruction is kind of exactly what I'm talking about here. So the Sacred Destruction is like, you know, it is destructive, and it's hard, it's something that's difficult, but it's happening in a sacred way. This is like a deep lesson for you both that are involved in this. This is something that's honestly, it's like a beautiful destruction. It's something that was supposed to happen in order to teach something deep, and then also to realize and remember that there was also there was also beauty in this. It wasn't all bad. There was also beauty in this as well. With this manifest card, this is like something that was probably manifested between both of you in order to learn some deeper lessons, in order to learn kind of what you want, in order to learn, you know, it's kind of like almost, you know, coming face to face with your darker sides and realizing that, you know, the problem wasn't just this person, the problem stems from both sides. And, you know, kind of realizing that both are responsible technically, and it's kind of a reminder of that. And then also just to learn from this, take this as a beautiful lesson. This was Sacred Destruction for a beautiful lesson to happen between both of you. We also have past life right here, and then safe travel. So safe travel reminds me a lot of the Six of Swords, because the Six of Swords does involve travel as well. A lot of the times it involves like quick road trips, stuff like that. It is ruled by Mercury, which does rule like quick road trips, traveling of some kind. It can be longer travel too, but normally it's just like the quicker travel. But this is just giving a reassurance that things are going to be fine moving forward. The Six of Swords is moving forward from something that didn't really work out, which is exactly kind of what we're talking about. And this is just a reminder that, you know, everything is going to be okay. The future is going to be fine. You are going to be safe in the future. It's not going to ruin your life. This is going to be fine. Like you're moving into a better place, and you're going to be okay. This past life thing, this is kind of showing that this whole relationship was probably dealing with past life karma. And so the whole reason why this whole thing happened, and the whole reason why you had to go through this sacred destruction, was actually to even out some past life karma between you two. We also have gratitude and boundaries. So with this gratitude card, this is reminding you to be very grateful for this experience. Of course, it's a hard time, and sometimes it's hard to find the gratefulness in it, especially when you're still going through it. It can be a very difficult thing, but it is a beautiful thing, and so it's reminding you to be grateful for all the good experiences you had, because it's reminding you that this whole relationship, it wasn't all bad. There was good times in this, and it's just a friendly reminder to think about those things and to remember that, you know, there was some beauty in this. We also have a 5 and a 5, so this is again, kind of talking about the unexpected things happening. We have a lot of Aquarius energy here, which is like Uranus and unexpected things happening, especially with the Tower, is a very unexpected Uranus type of card that's also ruled by Aquarius and also by Mars. So it's definitely reminding you that, you know, there was a lot of unexpected stuff, but you did have like a beautiful connection as well, on top of all of the other things that did happen. And I think the big lesson here was realizing your boundaries, realizing that you need to stand up for yourself in certain areas, realizing that you need to respect other people's boundaries as well, and respect other people, and also respect yourself. So respect this whole situation, and take the lesson of boundaries, however that kind of applies to you. We also have the card here, very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So, of course, with this manifest card that we have behind here as well, this is really definitely talking about now that you've been through this, you'll probably have a clearer picture of what you do really want in a relationship, and it'll be a lot clearer now. So start to manifest those things, start to think about those things, and what do you really want in somebody, and don't ever compromise. Know your boundaries, know where you draw the line with somebody for the future, so that you have a relationship that you do actually very much enjoy and very much fits with you. We also have the card here of playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So don't allow this to like ruin everything. Allow yourself to get back on your feet. Of course, allow yourself the time to grieve. We all need that. But then remember just to come back to your playful, childlike self at the end of the day and enjoy yourself and be fun again, and don't be pessimistic. Don't allow the situation to make you into a pessimistic person, because know that you're manifesting anything at every moment in time. And so if you want to manifest something absolutely beautiful, come back to that playful, childlike innocence and know that anything's possible. We also have milk and honey, and then time for a nap. So definitely take some time for yourself. Allow yourself to have time to grieve. Allow yourself to have time to really reflect and understand. This is a very deep reflection card. Allow your dreams to really speak to you at this time. And then the milk and honey. Who's the honey to your milk, and who's the milk to your honey? Think about what you really want in a future relationship, and allow this to be a big lesson of realizing what that is. And we also have a 51 and a 2 and a 4, which both equal a 6 in numerology, and that deals with harmony. So who will be harmonious to you? Think about that person, fantasize about that person, because you'll begin to manifest them very soon as well. So this is reminding you that, you know, someone is probably going to come into your life shortly after, as long as you're manifesting that milk and honey, that harmonious relationship that deals with the 6 energy, which is all like something that just works so well together, something that's so harmonious and beautiful. So I do see that happening in your guys' future after this whole thing settles. But yeah, just return to that playful energy, and don't allow yourself to be upset about it for too long, but do allow yourself that time to nap and to grieve and to allow. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give me a really big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. All right, so group number 4, if you guys picked this pile, this is the reading for you, all about what's going to happen, what's the future between you and them. So without further ado, let's hop right into this, starting now. All right, so group number 4, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. So we start off this pile with the 3 of Pentacles, which is ruled by Mars and by Capricorn. So this is talking about, like, this is whoever you're thinking about in this reading. There's like this attraction. There's this thing that just kind of works. It oddly just works. And there's definitely an attraction when we have the Mars energy. There's definitely like a passionate kind of connection here and an attraction. But with Capricorn, this is like something that just works. It just feels like oh, this is like right. For some reason, we fit really well together. So I'm definitely saying that you guys definitely fit well together. You can relate on certain things, but you also like bring something to the relationship. You each bring something to the relationship that the relationship needs, that the other kind of needs. And then with the 10 of Swords here, this is ruled by the Sun and by Gemini. This is kind of talking about there's some past hurt that might be involved in this. Like you might have gone through something pretty harsh, and this person is bringing to the table something that you really need right now that's really refreshing for you. It's something that like they're helping like transmute and change whatever the past was for you, and helping you heal old past wounds. And I think you're doing this for this person as well. You're both doing this for each other, where you two kind of bring to the table some healing and something that the other person right now needs in order to heal from their past and what has happened to them in the past. With this Knight of Wands card, there's definitely a huge attraction between you two. The Knight of Wands is like definitely this fiery, passionate attraction, just like Mars. Mars is a very fiery type of planet, rules passion and just an excited, like romantic connection. So I feel like there's definitely like a lot of passion. I feel like you two kind of want to move forward quickly, but then there's also this caution when we do have this Capricorn energy in the 3 of Pentacles. So there is like, you two, I think, really respect each other, but you also have this passion, and you two are moving probably quickly than you normally would with somebody, is my guess here. But then there's also this respect where it's like, well, should we take things slow? And there's just a mutual respect, and there's a mutual respect of each other's past and each other's hurt feelings that you two have had before. There's just mutual respect here, which is really beautiful. The next card that we have is, of course, Transmute, which is exactly kind of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the 10 of Swords and kind of like the attraction that's here. It's like you two are really transmuting the the past energy. So I feel like this is a relationship that you've never really experienced with somebody before, and it's a connection that you've never really experienced with someone before, because instead of like causing those insecurities, this person almost like takes away your insecurities and helps cure these insecurities in you, which is really beautiful, and they're helping transmute the energy that you've experienced in past relationships. The next card we have is Fate. So this is a very fated relationship right here. Whoever you're thinking about, like, this is almost like meant to be. And I don't know if you're gonna be with this person forever or what the future cards are now, but definitely this what is happening right now between you and this person is definitely very fated, and I think there's still more to happen between you two, and it's a huge healing like relationship for you guys. I feel like this is almost like a rebirth, because we do have this egg here, and the egg kind of symbolizes like there's this newness. So this is something that you haven't really experienced with somebody before, and they kind of like, with this bee and this flower, it's like they bring the pollen to your nectar, and they bring the nectar to your pollen. They bring they bring you something that you actually need right now that you almost didn't even realize you needed. And they're doing something for you that nobody's ever really done for you before. And they're healing stuff that you can't do yourself, because flowers just on their own, like, how are they gonna transfer the pollen to the other flower and to this and to that without the bee? It's like they're finally giving you something that you didn't know you needed. Because a flower doesn't probably think about like, oh, I need somebody to land on me to like get the pollen and then transfer it to somebody else and like whatever. But it's like they do it for you. They do something that you didn't even know you needed, but you do actually need it. You're like, wow. And they're healing parts of you that you've needed to be healed for a while. The next card that we have is Guides, and then we have Water. So with this Guides card, this is something that I feel like it's almost like you guys have like a really deep connection, and I feel like in the spirit realm, you guys have had this connection before, and also with this number 7, there's definitely a spiritual connection here. The number 7 does rule the spirit realm, so there's definitely like this otherworldly connection where you oddly feel so comfortable with this person, and it's probably moving quicker than you thought it would, just because of the amount of comfort that you feel with them. There's probably some past life stuff here. You two have known each other in past lives. With this Water. The Water card, this is talking about you two have a deep emotional connection. I feel like you two like have this psychic connection as well, and you two can feel each other's emotions. You two really understand each other, because the Water is like you two understand each other's emotions very deeply, and you two really get each other, and you two relate a lot on who you are and where you guys want to go. And it's almost like you have this weird understanding, especially with the bee and the flower right here. It's like you two are almost like a perfect match for each other to heal each other, because Water also deals hugely with healing as well. We also have the card here of Will, and then the Void. So this person, I think, fills you in areas you did not even know were empty. Like, they've been empty for so long that you didn't realize that something could even fill them. You weren't even aware of them because they were just, empty the whole time. You didn't even know that there was a space that was empty. And this person brings to the table something that you didn't even know you needed, which is so beautiful. Like, this pile almost makes me want to cry, but this is so gorgeous. And then with this Will card, it's like you two have this like this pull, this magnetic pull. It's almost like a connection between you two, and like a rope between you two that's almost has you two tied together, and you don't even know why. And it's just like you just feel this pull and this attraction towards this person. That's just this willpower that like you just feel like not necessarily enchanted by this person, because enchanted kind of has a negative connotation of lack of free will, but it's like you have this like total freedom with this person. It's like you can feel free with this person. You feel like that they fill this area of yourself that you haven't felt that was filled before. Next card we have is You Deserve Love and Romantic Feelings. So I'm definitely feeling like there's this mutual attraction between you two for sure, and your feelings are real and worth exploring. So I feel like this is still like in the beginning of this type of relationship. I feel like you guys haven't gotten to a very super deep level yet. Maybe you have. Again, it's a general reading, so it can go either or way. But there's definitely like this huge mutual attraction between you two. And then the You Deserve Love card is like they're definitely healing those past wounds for you, and they definitely like captured your heart for sure. And I think you've captured theirs as well, especially with this bow and arrow kind of like picture that's on this card. It's like you two have captured each other's like attention and each other's hearts, and you two also feel like this love growing and building between you two, and it's really beautiful, and it's healing the past stuff between you guys. And the not past stuff between you two, but like the past stuff that you two have both kind of experienced before meeting each other. And you guys feel like this void, and you're finally feeling lovable again, and feeling like, oh wow, like, ooh, it's like, this pile is so exciting. Anyway, Next card is peace and then poised. So I feel like you both see each other on a very high pedestal. You both see each other like, wow, I love this person. Like, how did I get this person? How did I deserve this person? And it might not even be at the level yet where you two have each other quite yet. It might not be official yet or anything like that. Who knows? But definitely they hold you on a high pedestal. And if you guys are official, that's amazing. And like, if you guys are already married, that's awesome. But I feel like you two still have this like respect for each other. You still have this like idea of each other that is poised and beautiful. And I feel like there's just a lot of peace here. Like there's not a lot of conflict in this relationship. There's just a lot of peace and fun, romantic feelings, and like a birth of something new. Because again, we have this like egg picture right here and right here. So this is the birth of something new. It's like something that you two both have not yet experienced before, which is so exciting. So I'm stoked for you guys who picked this pile. And I hope it goes well for you guys. So if you guys liked this reading, definitely give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. All right, so our last pile, pile number 5. If you guys pick this pile, this is the reading for you, all about what is going to happen between you and them. What's the future going to be like between you and whatever person that you're thinking about. So without further ado, let's hop right into this. All right, so pile number 5, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. So we start off this pile with the 7 of Swords, which is ruled by the Moon and by Aquarius. And so this card kind of talks about there's still some like hidden stuff that you don't really know about this person. There might be some kind of like awkward energy still, or there might be like not mutual feelings or something, or maybe someone's still deciding, because the next card that we have is the 2 of Pentacles, which is ruled by Jupiter and by Capricorn. And this kind of talks about balancing out 2 different things, or having to decide or like weigh out the options, or it could be also talking about some insecurities as well. So there might be like one of you feels like they don't deserve the other person, or they feel like the other person's better than them. So there's kind of like things aren't really balanced in this relationship. It feels kind of like there's something that's off balance for sure. And again, it's a general reading, so just figure out kind of where that sits for you and kind of what makes sense. But then we have the Princess of Swords here, which is the Page of Swords. And this card is like, there's still like this young energy here, or like one of you kind of like looks at each other as a still young soul or a young person and doesn't really maybe take you seriously, or kind of like feels like there's this energy where they don't really trust. There's maybe a lack of trust as well when we have the 7 of Swords, and it's like something that just, it just doesn't feel right for some reason. There's something that's off here. There's something that's definitely unbalanced and feels a little bit off. And I feel like it's a little bit, I feel like you guys both kind of know and feel this energy between you two. So definitely there's that sort of energy that's coming up here. Then we also have the cards here of the Outlaw and Share Wisdom. So when we have the Outlaw, it's like definitely one of you feels like you're not good enough. One of you feels like maybe like untrusted, or you don't trust them, and you're like, there's just something that's off. There's something where like one of you is distanced, or doesn't feel the same, or doesn't feel good enough, or has this lack of trust, and there's like this disconnect here. So I'm definitely seeing that. Or one of you is like pushing the other one away and just doesn't want this. So there's definitely some like off energy here. And then we also have the Share Wisdom card. So this is kind of like, this is a huge learning lesson again. So this is confirmation that this whole thing took place as more of a learning lesson. But it also is talking about that, what I was mentioning about the Page of Swords, it's like maybe one of you sees the other person as a younger soul and doesn't really see that mutual like understanding, and maybe they feel more like a parent figure and feel like they need to share wisdom, and there's not like a similar connection here. And it's not saying that there can't be, it's just like the current mindset between you both isn't the same, and one of you isn't wanting to go in the same trajectory, or there's like this lack of trust here. And I feel like there's more to be talked about here, and I feel like this is more of a surface level thing, and it hasn't really gone to the depth that it should go yet, or not necessarily that it should go, but it hasn't gone to the depth where you can really understand this yet. I feel like this is definitely a surface level type of relationship, and if this is more of a serious type of relationship, it definitely feels like there's an imbalance. One of you feels like older than the other, or one of you just feels like less than the other somehow in some type of way, whether it be in experience or age or anything like that. Then we also have the card here of Meditate and then Protection. So with this card of Meditate, this is something that I think like you really need to ask your intuition about. especially because we have the mala hanging on the arm here. This is something like you should really listen to your gut instincts on this, especially if there is some sort of like lack of trust here when we have the Seven of Swords. Like this can definitely indicate trust issues, and you should definitely meditate and figure out why these are occurring, or meditate on like why you feel less than, or this is a relationship to show you that you deserve more and you need to work on your confidence level, or that this person needs to work on their confidence level. It can go either way. Again, it is a general reading, so I'm just going to mention all the possibilities here, but one of you needs to work on your confidence. And so it's time to meditate on that and realize, okay, what do I really deserve? How do I become this confident person? How do I become a better person? How do I better myself so that I feel good in relationships and so that I'm confident about the people that I meet? And we also have this card of protection. So I feel like maybe one of you feels like you're the protector of this relationship. You need to protect this person. Maybe this person's with you because they don't want to hurt you in any sort of way, and so they might be walking tiptoe around this relationship to try not to hurt the other person. Or maybe there's some dishonesty because of the fact that one of you doesn't want to hurt the other. So there might be some stuff that you haven't shared, some like truths that you haven't shared. And the whole lesson behind this is that they do need to be shared. They do need to be shared. Even though you two want to protect each other, you can say things in ways that still does protect the other person, but still does let the truth be known. We do also have the card here of discernment and nourishment. So with discernment, you really need to uncloud your eyes. Again, she's like sitting here kind of with her eyes covered, but yet she's holding the sun, which is like the illumination. So she's holding the illumination literally in her hands, but she's like choosing not to see it and having the moon cover her eyes. It's almost like you're denying the fact that there might be trust issues, denying the fact that somebody could be tiptoeing around you, or denying the fact that you should be honest with somebody. So it is definitely talking about that. And then with this nourishment card, it's like you're definitely, I feel like one of you is with this person because of like the fact that it does feed their confidence in some kind of way maybe, or it like somehow feeds like what they need at this time. So one of you might again feel less than, and then with this person having somebody that you feel like is better than you doesn't necessarily mean that they're better than you. Again, we're all equal people, but you might feel as if this person's somehow better than you and are with them because of the fact that it kind of makes you more confident to be with this person, yet it also makes you insecure because you feel that like awkward imbalance here. But I think you need to, there needs to be truth to be told here in order to feel liberated from this. And the trajectory of this, I would say, is basically just more of a lesson karmic type relationship in order to teach you self-confidence, or teach one of you self-confidence, and also teach one of you the need to like be honest with somebody, be straightforward, and not have to tiptoe around things. We also have the card here of getting to know each other and keep an open mind. So I do feel like there's still a part of you too that is still needing to get to know each other, and also getting to know yourselves as well. So again, if one of you has confidence issues, it's like you need to get to know yourself as well, and nurture yourself. This is all about really nurturing and finding nourishment in yourself, especially if you're the one that has the lack of confidence. This is like really something that it's a lesson to learn that you need to feed your soul first. But again, I do feel like the bond will deepen between two just a little bit more. I feel like there's still more to be shared between you two at this time. And if you guys can find that balance, then I think it could work out. But that balance would need to be found for sure. Then with this keep an open mind, your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So even if this person seems like, oh, they're perfect, keep an open mind because there could actually be somebody better for you. And just based off this reading, I would say that there probably is somebody better for you. But just keep an open mind. Don't get too attached to this person, I would say. Like, definitely protect yourself, caution yourself, because this does seem like more of a karmic type relationship when I'm looking at this. It doesn't seem like this is like soulmate, twin flame type of stuff. It seems more of a karmic, like lesson-based type of relationship. So definitely keep an open mind and make sure to protect yourself and not get too attached. We also have the card here of blessed and to be fair. So blessed, this is kind of like, this relationship will end up being a blessing in disguise, even if it does end. This is something that's teaching you and helping you become yourself. Because again, it's kind of looking like she is almost being birthed kind of into the open in this card. I don't know if you guys can see it. There might be a reflection on it. But basically, it kind of looks like she's being birthed into the world. And so I feel like this is you really coming out of your shell. It kind of looks, yeah, that's what it looks like. That's, birthed isn't the right word. It looks like she's coming out of her shell. And so it's teaching one of you to definitely come out of your shell and realize who you are and own who you are. And this is, again, talking about balance, because with the Two of Pentacles, this is like talking about the imbalance. And I feel like this relationship is here to help you realize how to balance out and how to find your self-worth, and how this person can find their self-worth, and how you two can find out how to be equal is what this relationship is kind of all about. And to help one of you realize the equality and to feel equal with each other, and for one of you to raise up and meet the other person at this higher level. And then also to be fair with, you know, if you've ever needed to say something to somebody but you're scared and want to tiptoe around it, it's teaching you to be fair and express yourself and not tiptoe around any subjects or hide things. So definitely talking about that. I hope this reading resonated with you guys. If it did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.